It all started with a single clip that no one was supposed to see, a behind-the-scenes moment that somehow made its way online, showing Rasheeda and Sierra in what fans are calling the most explosive fight in the show's history. The footage spread across social media like wildfire, and before anyone could even process what they were watching, timelines were flooded with shocked comments, breakdowns, and slow-motion replays. You can hear the tension in every word, see the fury in their eyes, and feel the energy in the room shift from calm to chaos in just seconds. People who were there claim it started over something small, a comment, a misunderstanding. But it quickly turned into a storm of accusations, betrayal, and old wounds ripping open on camera. Some fans say you can see security rushing in while producers yell for the cameras to keep rolling. Others swear you can hear another cast member whisper, "This is about Kirk," right before Rasheeda slams her drink down. And that's when it really went left. Twitter went wild. Instagram lives were filled with reactions, and everyone wanted to know what really pushed these two Atlanta power women to the breaking point. Was it friendship gone bad, or a deeper secret that finally exploded for the world to see? Whatever it was, one thing's for sure: the drama is far from over. The night the episode aired, fans were not ready for what unfolded. It started off calm, Rasheeda sitting at the table sipping her drink, her tone cool but eyes sharp. Sierra walked in late, dressed to kill, her energy heavy and unreadable. Everyone at the table could sense something wasn't right. Cameras caught the quiet tension before the storm, and producers later admitted they could feel it too. The air was thick, and every small gesture felt loaded with unspoken words. Rasheeda looked up and said, "So, you finally decided to show up?" Her tone was casual, but the sting was clear. Sierra gave a little laugh, trying to brush it off, but it was obvious she felt cornered. "Girl, don't start," she said. "You know I've been busy." That one line was all it took to set things off. Rasheeda leaned back, folded her arms, and said, "Busy doing what?" "Spreading rumors about me." And just like that, the tension snapped. The table fell silent. Carly Red, who was sitting nearby, covered her mouth like she couldn't believe Rasheeda said that out loud. Sierra's eyes widened, and you could see the disbelief turn into anger. She slammed her purse on the table and fired back, "Don't play with me, Rasheeda! You're not about to make me look like a liar on national TV." The argument grew louder by the second. Everyone's attention was locked on them as they exchanged words that had clearly been building for months. What shocked fans most was how raw it felt. This wasn't a staged argument for the cameras. This was personal. You could hear Rasheeda's voice shaking as she said, "I thought we were friends, Sierra. I let you into my home, around my family, and now I'm hearing you've been telling people Kirk's out here dealing with other women again." Sierra's jaw dropped. "So that's what this is about?" she said, standing up. "You really believe that mess?" Rasheeda's silence said it all. She didn't have to confirm it. Her expression gave her away. She was hurt, confused, and defensive. Sierra tried to explain, but the noise in the restaurant, the whispers from other cast members, and the cameras catching every tear made it impossible to calm things down. Backstage sources claimed later that this wasn't the first time Rasheeda and Sierra clashed. Rumors had been circulating for weeks that their friendship had fallen apart after a business deal went wrong. Sierra had allegedly backed out of a project last minute, leaving Rasheeda feeling betrayed. Fans who had followed them since season 1 said the tension was inevitable, especially with so many overlapping friendships and loyalties. As the argument escalated, Scrappy and Bambi, who were seated across the room, tried to step in. "Yo, y'all chill," Scrappy said, raising his hands. "We not about to do this again." But by then, it was too late. Sierra was crying, shouting over the music, saying, "I've had your back through everything, and you sit here acting like I'm the enemy?" Rasheeda shot back, "If you were my friend, you wouldn't be talking about my marriage behind my back." The cameras zoomed in just as Sierra threw her napkin onto the table and shouted, "Maybe your marriage ain't what you pretend it is." Gasps filled the room. Kirk froze mid-sentence, and Rasheeda's entire demeanor changed. Her calm cracked completely, and she whispered, "What did you just say?" Sierra didn't answer. She just walked off, her heels echoing against the floor. Fans on social media couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. Within minutes, clips from the fight spread like wildfire. People were dissecting every frame, lip-reading what was said off camera, and arguing about who was really at fault. Some supported Rasheeda, saying she had every right to be upset after years of loyalty and friendship. Others sided with Sierra, calling her reaction valid since she was accused of something she claimed she didn't do. What made the situation worse was that producers reportedly had more footage that didn't air. Footage showing Rasheeda crying backstage, saying, I'm tired of people bringing up my marriage like it's their storyline. That one line went viral, with fans quoting it across platforms and accusing the show of exploiting her pain for ratings. Even people outside the love and hip-hop community started chiming in, with influencers and gossip blogs dropping their own takes on the situation. One blog claimed that the fight wasn't just about rumors, it was about money. According to them, Rasheeda and Ciara had invested in a joint fashion pop-up that fell apart when trust issues surfaced. Ciara reportedly felt Rasheeda was playing boss and taking more credit, while Rasheeda believed Ciara was jealous of her business success. Neither of them addressed those claims directly, but fans noticed both had deleted old pictures together from Instagram, which only fueled more speculation. Meanwhile, Kirk was seen leaving the venue quietly, not saying a word to anyone. Witnesses say he looked frustrated and embarrassed, muttering something under his breath before disappearing into the parking lot. His silence added another layer of mystery. People began asking what he knew that others didn't. Back in the episode, the producers kept rolling even as chaos unfolded. Security moved in. Other cast members tried to defuse things, but Rasheeda refused to calm down. "I'm done," she said, pushing her mic away. "Every season it's the same thing. People using me and my life for a storyline." Ciara, still emotional, was caught off guard by how deep Rasheeda's pain went. "You think I wanted this?" she yelled. "You think I enjoy being dragged into your marriage drama?" It was raw, unfiltered emotion. The kind of television that makes people stop what they're doing and watch. By the end of the episode, neither woman looked like they wanted to be there anymore. You could tell something in their friendship had shifted permanently. When the credits rolled, social media erupted again, with fans begging for behind-the-scenes footage and cast reactions. And just when people thought things might calm down, someone from the crew allegedly leaked a voice note of Ciara crying to a friend, saying, "They made it look worse than it was. I never said anything about Kirk, but Rasheeda already had her mind made up." That leak reignited the entire debate online, making the situation spiral into one of the biggest love and hip-hop controversies of the year. The fallout from that night didn't stop once the cameras turned off. If anything, it only got worse. By the next morning, Atlanta gossip pages were flooded with blurry phone videos from people who had been in the restaurant. Fans analyzed every second of the clip, from Ciara's tone to the look on Rasheeda's face when she heard the words about her marriage. It was everywhere. Blogs, Twitter threads, fan podcasts, even TikTok breakdowns titled, "What Really Happened Between Rasheeda and Ciara." People couldn't stop talking about it, and everyone seemed to have a different theory. By noon, Rasheeda posted a cryptic Instagram story that said, "Loyalty ain't what it used to be." She didn't tag anyone, but everyone knew who she meant. Within minutes, the Shade Room reposted it with the caption, "Rasheeda speaks after explosive fight with Ciara." The comments section blew up. Fans wrote things like, "I knew this friendship was fake," and "You can't mix business with reality TV." Ciara stayed quiet at first, but her silence only made things worse. A few hours later, she finally broke it with her own post. A picture of herself sitting in her car, looking angry, captioned, "People love to play victim when the truth comes out." The timing couldn't have been more perfect for drama. Producers were already planning how to include the fallout in the next episode. Insiders said they were shocked by how quickly things escalated online. One producer allegedly told a crew member, "We thought it'd be messy, but this is next level." Behind the scenes, Rasheeda and Ciara hadn't spoken. Kirk tried reaching out to Ciara privately to calm things down, but that backfired too. Someone leaked their text exchange, showing Kirk saying, "You need to stop feeding the blogs. This ain't a good look." Ciara replied, "Tell your wife to stop acting like I'm the enemy then." Fans lost it. When those screenshots surfaced, people started accusing Kirk of trying to protect his image instead of his wife, and others accused Ciara of stirring the pot for attention. Then came the biggest twist. A new blog claimed to have audio from a mic that was still rolling after the fight ended. In the leaked clip, Rasheeda could be heard crying to one of the producers, saying, "She knows stuff about Kirk that nobody's supposed to know." That one line sent shockwaves through the fandom. What did Ciara know? How deep did the secrets go? The internet ran wild with speculation. The next day, Ciara went live on Instagram to clear her name. She started calm, saying, "I'm tired of people twisting the truth. I didn't expose anything that wasn't already public." But as comments flooded in, accusing her of betrayal, her emotions got the best of her. She said, "Y'all don't even know half the story. I was protecting her." I kept my mouth shut when I could have said a lot more." Her tone was shaky but firm. She was done being painted as the villain. Rasheeda didn't respond publicly, but fans noticed something subtle. She unfollowed Sierra, Carly Red, and even a few crew members who were seen talking to Sierra in behind-the-scenes clips. It was like a quiet declaration of war. People started picking sides, and the fan base split right down the middle. Some people said Sierra was fake and disloyal, while others argued that Rasheeda had always been too controlling and judgmental toward her friends. Meanwhile, producers reportedly had to step in and hold emergency meetings. The fight had gone beyond TV. It was now affecting filming schedules, sponsorships, and public image. According to one insider, they didn't want to lose both of them, but right now, they won't even show up on set together. Other cast members were caught in the middle. Bambi said in a confessional that she hated seeing them go through this because they were like sisters once. Spice, on the other hand, didn't hold back. She told the cameras, "Rasheeda always act like she better than everybody, so maybe this is karma catching up." As the drama kept spreading, the situation took another wild turn. An old clip resurfaced from last season showing Sierra and Kirk having a friendly conversation at an after-party. Fans started stitching that clip with the current episode, suggesting that maybe Rasheeda's suspicions weren't so far-fetched. Even though there was no proof of anything inappropriate, the rumors caught fire. Comments poured in like, "So this is why Rasheeda was mad," and "It's always the one closest to you." Producers tried to get both women to film a sit-down to address everything, but Rasheeda reportedly refused. She told them she wasn't ready to talk on camera yet. Instead, she focused on her boutique and posted motivational quotes like, "Not everyone deserves a seat at your table." Sierra, on the other hand, leaned into the controversy, appearing on a podcast where she hinted that people love to play perfect for TV but got skeletons way bigger than mine. By the time the next episode teaser dropped, fans were already losing their minds. The preview showed Rasheeda walking into a group dinner, only to see Sierra sitting across the table. You could cut the tension with a knife. In the clip, Rasheeda said under her breath, "So this is how y'all set me up." And that one line sent viewers into a frenzy. Comments flooded in saying, "We need this episode now." And this season is pure chaos. What made things even more explosive was how personal the story had become. Both women had their families dragged into it. Rasheeda's son, who usually stayed out of the spotlight, posted something cryptic on his story that said, "When people can't touch your peace, they try to touch your name." Fans interpreted that as a shot at Sierra. Meanwhile, Sierra's daughter went live defending her mom, saying, "My mama always been loyal. Y'all just don't see what happens off camera." Things were spiraling fast, and producers were walking a tightrope trying to control the chaos without losing authenticity. Insiders said they were rewriting parts of the upcoming reunion episode just to address the fight properly. One source revealed, "They want both of them in the same room, but there's a real chance someone's walking out mid-taping." To make matters worse, a former cast member stepped in to add more fuel. Jocelyn Hernandez went on social media saying, "Rasheeda always thinks she's the queen of Atlanta, but Sierra ain't scared of her." Fans ate it up. Her comment instantly went viral, reigniting old feuds and dragging other names into the mix. Even Mona Scott, the executive producer, had to post a statement saying, "There's more to the story. Tune in to find out." By now, fans weren't just watching the show, they were living the drama online. Group chats, fan edits, and conspiracy videos popped up everywhere. Everyone was obsessed with who was telling the truth, and whether there was more behind Sierra's outburst than met the eye. It was clear that this wasn't just another fight. Something bigger was brewing beneath the surface, and Atlanta hadn't seen the last of it. As the fallout deepened, the tension between Rasheeda and Sierra hit new levels, both on and off camera. Days after the Puerto Rico incident aired, an insider leaked unseen footage from the set, clips that never made it to TV. In the raw audio, Sierra could be heard saying to a producer, "Rasheeda knows what Kirk's been doing, but she keeps pretending everything's fine for the cameras." That one line sent shockwaves through the internet. Fans immediately began dissecting it, wondering if Sierra was exposing something deeper about Rasheeda's marriage. Overnight, blogs began running headlines like, "Did Sierra just spill Kirk's hidden secrets?" And "Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's strongest couple in trouble again?" Rasheeda, who had been silent for days, suddenly found herself trending on every social platform. People tagged her under every post, demanding answers. One fan commented, "You can't talk about loyalty and hide the truth at the same time," while another wrote, "This might be the realest season yet." Rasheeda's reaction came through a long Instagram live session. She appeared calm at first, sitting in her boutique office surrounded by her products, trying to sound composed. "People gonna say what they want to say," she started, her tone controlled. "But I know my truth, and I'm not gonna let nobody rewrite my story for clicks." Her voice wavered slightly when someone asked about Kirk in the comments. "We've been through worse," she added, "and we always come out stronger." But fans weren't buying it. In real time, the comment section turned savage. One viewer wrote, "So you're not denying it," while another said, "Why protect someone who keeps embarrassing you?" It was brutal, and by the time she ended the live, over 60,000 people had tuned in. Sierra, on the other hand, wasn't done talking. She appeared on another podcast just 2 days later, sitting across from the host with her signature confidence. "People forget that I've been friends with them for years," she said. "I've seen things, heard things, and sometimes the truth hurts." When the host asked if she regretted saying what she said, she leaned forward and replied, "I regret caring too much." The clip instantly went viral, sparking a wave of debate about whether Sierra was revealing hidden truths or just trying to save her image. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, production chaos was unfolding. Sources close to the set revealed that Rasheeda had demanded separate filming schedules, refusing to shoot with Sierra. It became a logistical nightmare. Crew members described the energy as uncomfortable and unpredictable, with some even saying it felt like the cast was walking on eggshells. Spice tried to mediate between them during a private dinner scene, but it backfired. Spice later admitted in a confessional, "They don't want peace, they want payback." Then things got even more intense when new receipts surfaced online. An anonymous Instagram account posted screenshots of alleged text messages between Sierra and Kirk from months ago. In them, Kirk appeared to be thanking Sierra for keeping things quiet. Although the messages weren't verified, the timing couldn't have been worse. Fans instantly started connecting dots that may not have even been real, claiming Sierra's words in Puerto Rico made more sense now. "It's always the quiet ones," one fan wrote. Within hours, Rasheeda's team released a statement denying the authenticity of the messages. They said, "These texts are fabricated and part of an ongoing attempt to defame our client's character." But it was too late. The damage was done. The audience wasn't sure what to believe anymore. The internet was split in half with hashtags like Yes Team Rasheeda and As Team Sierra dominating the timeline. Fan edits surfaced showing past scenes where Rasheeda looked at Sierra suspiciously, paired with captions like, "The signs were always there." Even the network had to step in. An emergency production memo was reportedly sent to the cast, warning them not to leak internal footage or private conversations. Mona Scott, the showrunner, was said to be furious. An insider claimed she told everyone, "We can't afford another scandal like this. Either fix it or face consequences." But instead of cooling things off, that warning only made the situation more explosive. The tension finally reached its peak when both women were scheduled to appear at a charity event for the network's cameras. Security was tight, producers were on edge, and everyone expected a scene. At first, things seemed calm. Rasheeda walked in wearing a sleek black outfit, sunglasses on, acting unfazed. Sierra arrived 20 minutes later with her friends in tow, ready for whatever happened next. As the cameras rolled, the two locked eyes for the first time since Puerto Rico. Rasheeda broke the silence with a chilling calmness. "You said a lot out there," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Sierra smirked, replying, "I only said what was real." The room went dead silent. Rasheeda then said something that wasn't in the script. "You know what's funny? All that loyalty talk, and you still let people play you like a pawn." Sierra's smile dropped. "At least I'm not pretending," she shot back. It escalated fast from there. Raised voices, tense body language, and a camera crew scrambling to capture every second. Bambi tried to step in, telling them both to stop, but neither listened. "This ain't about you, Bambi," Sierra yelled, waving her hand. Rasheeda turned her head slightly and said, "You see what happens when people get too comfortable? They start confusing friendship with fame." The line hit hard. Even fans watching later would call it one of the coldest moments of the season. The confrontation ended abruptly when security intervened, pulling the two apart before things got physical again. Cameras cut, but the damage was already done. The footage was leaked days later and instantly became one of the most replayed scenes on social media. Everyone had their own interpretation. Some said Rasheeda was defending her peace, while others thought Sierra had finally snapped from years of being overshadowed, and just when fans thought it couldn't get any messier, another bomb dropped. A blog claimed that Ciara had been approached to do a tell-all interview, allegedly offering her a six-figure deal to spill behind-the-scenes secrets about the cast. Though she didn't confirm it, she posted a story with the words, "Every lie gonna meet the truth eventually," followed by a wink emoji. That one post reignited all the speculation. Fans started wondering if this fight wasn't just personal. Maybe it was tied to bigger secrets the show had been hiding. Rumors spread that producers were trying to silence certain storylines to protect their image. And with the reunion episode just weeks away, everyone knew one thing. When Rasheeda and Ciara came face to face again, it wouldn't be for reconciliation. It would be for revenge. The reunion special was supposed to bring closure, but instead, it turned into one of the most chaotic tapings in the history of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Fans had been counting down for weeks, waiting to see how Rasheeda and Ciara would face off after months of leaks, accusations, and public shade. Security doubled that night. Producers warned everyone to keep it professional, but everyone on set knew that was wishful thinking. This wasn't going to be a calm conversation. It was going to be an explosion. From the moment filming began, the energy felt off. The cast sat in their assigned spots, tension thick in the air. Mona Scott walked onto the stage and tried to start the conversation gently, asking both women how they'd been since Puerto Rico. Rasheeda, sitting upright and composed, answered first. "I've been good," she said firmly. "Focused on my family, my business, and my peace." Her tone was calm, but her eyes told a different story. Sharp, watchful, and ready. Ciara gave a dry laugh. "That's cute," she said under her breath. Mona caught it and turned to her. "Ciara, what do you mean by that?" she asked. Ciara smirked and said, "I just think it's funny when people act like they're all about peace, but behind the scenes they're the ones stirring the pot." The crowd in the studio gasped, and Rasheeda instantly tensed up. "Girl, you've been lying on my name for months," Rasheeda snapped. "And I let you have your little moment, but don't play with me." Mona tried to de-escalate it, but the words kept flying. "I didn't lie," Ciara shot back. "You've been hiding the truth about Kirk, and I was tired of watching you act perfect for the cameras." Rasheeda leaned forward, her voice steady but low. "First of all, what happens in my marriage ain't your business. And second, you not even woman enough to admit when you crossed the line." The studio erupted into shouts from the audience. Fans watching the live taping couldn't believe what they were hearing. Bambi, who sat nearby, whispered to Spice, "They might actually throw hands tonight." Spice just nodded, eyes wide, not daring to blink. Then Mona asked the question everyone was waiting for. "Ciara, what did you mean when you said Rasheeda knows what Kirk's been doing?" The room went silent. Ciara hesitated, then sighed dramatically. "Look, I'm not trying to ruin nobody's home," she said, "but everyone knows Kirk's been out here doing dirt again." "I thought Rasheeda was done covering for him." "Guess I was wrong." Rasheeda's face went cold. "That's a lie," she said, her voice cracking just a little. "You sitting here repeating rumors you heard from the same people that smile in my face." But Ciara wasn't backing down. "Girl, stop acting brand new," she said. "You cried to me about Kirk not changing, remember? Don't act like we didn't talk." The entire room froze. You could literally hear a pin drop. Even Mona looked stunned. "So you're saying Rasheeda confided in you?" she asked. Ciara nodded. "Yeah, and I never planned to say it on TV, but she made me the villain first." Rasheeda turned away, eyes glistening. "That's what hurts the most," she muttered. "You take private conversations and turn them into content." The reunion took a dark turn from there. Kirk tried to intervene, walking on stage mid-segment saying, "Y'all need to chill, this ain't it." But that only made things worse. Ciara laughed. "Of course you'd show up now. Where were you when she was defending you?" Kirk pointed at her and said, "You the one spreading lies about my family. You don't even know the full story." Security had to step closer. Rasheeda stood up, tears forming, and said, "I'm done." She walked off stage, ignoring Mona's attempts to call her back. Ciara sat there, looking half angry, half guilty, as the audience booed. Mona sighed, muttering under her breath. This reunion just turned into a disaster. Backstage cameras kept rolling. Rasheeda sat in the dressing room, crying quietly while her makeup artist handed her tissues. "She was supposed to be my friend," she said softly. "And now she's using my pain for views." Kirk tried to console her, saying, "Baby, don't let her get to you." But Rasheeda pushed his hand away. "You the reason she even got something to say," she whispered. "If you didn't give people a reason to doubt us, none of this would have happened." Meanwhile, Sierra was in her own dressing room filming a confessional. "I didn't mean to hurt her," she said, looking conflicted. But sometimes people need to face the truth. Maybe this will finally make her stop pretending. When Rasheeda eventually came back to finish the reunion, her tone had changed. She wasn't angry anymore, she was cold. "You win, Sierra," she said into the mic. "You got your viral moment. I hope it was worth the friendship." Sierra looked down, silent for the first time all night. Mona wrapped up the taping shortly after, clearly trying to contain the damage. But the real chaos began after filming ended. Within hours, someone leaked behind-the-scenes clips from the reunion. Unedited footage showing Rasheeda crying, producers panicking, and Kirk arguing with security. The video spread like wildfire. Blogs picked it up instantly, calling it the most raw moment in LHH history. Hashtags like our Rasheeda breakdown and Sierra exposed trended for days. Fans were divided once again. Some said Sierra was wrong for crossing that line, while others claimed she only said what everyone already knew. One viral tweet read, "Rasheeda protecting Kirk at all costs, even when it's breaking her down, is wild," while another said, "Sierra was messy but not lying." A week later, both women posted separate statements. Rasheeda wrote, "Healing in silence. Sometimes you realize people were never for you." Sierra, on the other hand, wrote, "Truth don't need defending." Neither mentioned each other directly, but the message was clear. The friendship was over for good. Rumors started swirling that producers were considering a spin-off centered around the fallout. Titled Broken Loyalty, focusing on former friends turned enemies. Fans seemed to love the idea, flooding the comments with requests. Mona Scott even hinted in a live Q&A that new projects are being discussed. As for Kirk, he stayed quiet publicly, but was spotted out in Atlanta without his wedding ring, fueling even more speculation. Gossip sites began suggesting that Rasheeda might finally be done with the marriage, though no one close to her confirmed it. One insider claimed she'd moved out temporarily to focus on her mental health. By the time the reunion episode aired, millions tuned in. The final scene, Rasheeda walking off stage while Sierra looked down in silence, became one of the most replayed moments of the season. Fans flooded the network's page with comments like, "This show needs therapy, not producers, and these women gave us everything this season." And even though the cameras stopped rolling, the story wasn't over. Whispers started that both women had been approached for exclusive interviews, Rasheeda to clear her name, and Sierra to reveal more unseen texts and messages. Whatever happens next, one thing was certain. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had just entered its most dramatic era yet, and the world couldn't look away. And that's where everything stands right now. Rasheeda and Sierra's friendship in ruins, Kirk's silence raising even more questions, and fans completely torn down the middle. Some say Sierra only said what needed to be said, while others believe she crossed every line of loyalty. Either way, the tension isn't dying down anytime soon. Atlanta is buzzing. Social media is spinning with theories, and producers are already hinting that what we saw might just be the beginning of something even messier. But what do you think? Was Sierra wrong for exposing her friend's private pain on camera? Or was Rasheeda hiding behind a perfect image for too long? Do you think Kirk's silence means there's more to the story? Or is this all just another made-for-TV storm that went too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because we're watching everything unfold right along with you. Make sure you hit that like button if you've been following the season. Subscribe so you don't miss the next explosive update. And turn on your notifications, because in this world, secrets don't stay buried for long. Trust me, what's coming next is about to change the entire love and hip-hop landscape forever.